Hello, it's Crystal. How have you been? How was your weekend? I can tell you for myself, I have been probably the most overstimulated I have been in a very long time. Even down to yesterday, I was getting ready for my son's football game and I was in the shower and like, I don't know if anybody's like me, but I cannot stand when the shower curtain sticks to my skin, and I haven't been able to find like a thick enough shower curtain that like is weighted enough that it doesn't touch me. And so I definitely don't like to be touched like that. It just fucking drives me up the wall, and like stuff was dropping in the shower yesterday, and then the shower curtain just decided it wanted to cling to me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then my son, I don't know, those are the things that he was doing, but it just frustrated me because I'm like, I'm trying to get ready, and then he's like, where is this? I'm like, dude, you can just look, okay, look for yourself, dang it. So yeah, definitely not having the kind of patience that I normally have. The card that fell out, leader, being the leader / teacher you needed, stepping onto your soul's purpose. So I don't know if it's like also the energy of just like no longer wanting to tolerate certain shit. Also like, I found myself really frustrated because like I have things that I need to take care of and whatever, right? Like, because I'm team manager for my son's football team. So like I'm in charge of communication. And so I need to communicate with the parents. And so then I needed to do that this past weekend, and I was feeling like hot garbage. And so like having it in my head where I'm like, I know I need to do these things. I need to fulfill these tasks or whatever, get these things done. And then also being at the mercy of my body and having zero energy, or just like, I know at one point, like I was just looking at a screen was hurting my eyes. So there was like absolutely no way that I would have been able to do any sort of like computer work or whatever until I was ready. And that's also been bringing up this like test of patience. Like you may have been going through a lot of things as well, but you're like, it's like we're being put into this place of leadership. And even in that, like I overthink a lot. I will sit there and be like, am I doing well enough? Am I doing this? Like, am I doing a good job? Like, am I being the best team manager that I can be? You know, it's obviously volunteer. It's a volunteer position, but like, I want to take pride in what I do. And so the question comes up of like, you know, when I'm not feeling well and I'm not operating at 100% capacity, then I know that I'm not giving it my all in the other things and other products that I have. And I saw 333 on the clock. So it's like working with spirit, because there's also an element of like, okay, needing to trust, needing to have faith that right now I haven't had the energy. There's certain things that I've had to lean on spirit and like trust. But there's also a sense as well that I even for myself, just being overly frustrated with like how things are going, and now taking the reins and being like, nah, I am no longer just okay with just being the passenger and allowing things to just go whatever direction the wind takes us. And like there's something to be said about being in flow, but there's also like a certain point where, again, being the leader, you have to take the reins of certain things in your life. And like there's certain things that maybe before you didn't have the capacity to actually take the reins. Maybe there was a time, and that's where it's important to not beat yourself up for where you are or where you think you should be, because you were only able to do what you were able to do. And if you now have the capacity to do these things and take up these responsibilities, then that's now, excuse me, the time is now, not back then, that you're able to do it or that you should have been doing it. There's no coulda, shoulda, wouldas. At that time, you may not have been able, you may not have had the bandwidth to be able to deal with what you're going to be thrown, right? So understanding that, like, you go through life where you have to learn to be flexible, and you ebb and flow. I'm even thinking of the flexibility card in this deck. That's just what I was seeing, because it has an egg, magpie. It has an egg, and sorry, you know, the soya eggs or whatever, soy sauce eggs. I don't know if that's significant to somebody. I'm just putting it out there. I just got it, the image came in my head, but the egg, the fragility of the egg, but also how, as much as it's fragile, it also has a lot of strength to it. So, I think same goes for you. But back to, you have been needing to, like, take a moment to just to see. One second. Okay, it's working. Sorry, there's some weird stuff happening. But anyhow, don't beat yourself up if you are not where you think you're needing to be. You needed to go through what you went through. You needed to be where you were. You needed to face what you needed to face to be in this time where you are becoming the leader, okay? You're stepping into that position and into that role. And then we've got your ancestors. Your ancestors are cheering you on. And 222. So definitely having that divine support, maybe even partnership coming in. Love abounds. Can you feel it? So maybe right now, like, you're facing some last little hurdles, last little battles, maybe things that have been plaguing you for a while, that have been going on for quite some time. Plague are pirates also another thing. Random confirmation. Tap into your inner guide, look within, but know that you've been doing that soul searching, that deep inner work. And when you do have those moments where you may be judging yourself a little harder than you really should be, because you know what you've actually been through. And there are certain things, like, even in my life, there are certain people that have come in and, like, kind of like rub salt in a wound. And as frustrating as it was also like, I needed that salt to clear it, to cleanse it. Like, it was purposeful as well. As hard as it was to hear or to listen to, you know, you take what you hear and then you decide, like, is this what I'm accepting, or am I going to make something happen? Am I going to make a change? Am I going to make the change? Someone has their eyes on you. Admiration, all eyes on you, Meek Mill. So there may be a lot of people, again, if you're stepping into that role or into that position of being a leader, you're going to have a lot of eyes on you. And sometimes it's nice to go through those tough battles, kind of, not in the, I think, you know, there's certain things where it's kind of nice to go through certain trials and tribulations, not in the public limelight, because everybody likes to dissect your life and deduce certain things about your circumstance. And really, you don't need, you know, there's already enough monitoring spirits that have been around you, surrounding you forever, that you don't need more. So it's kind of like, thank you, Spirit. We've got, thank you, Spirit, for not allowing me to be seen before it was my time. It's nice to keep certain things private.